road heading towards Sacramento, and we're going to try to be in LA today. Hopefully we can be soon enough so we can do some day game before Monday starting. I'm still debating if I'm gonna work for the next 2 weeks and be remote for another month. But I'm fully in my car, officially homeless, hobo hustler. And yeah, I'm heading south. Love this, love and hate. Sometimes it's difficult. I had this before, so doesn't bug me too much. So that's a quick update. Got my car ready. I will be in here for quite a little bit, maybe a couple weeks, couple months. Who knows? We kind of rolling the dice and go in with the flow, which I always a guy that had a backup plan. I never just throw it all away and go for this like this. So never really no going back for now. So I'm go my own way, going your own way. I remember Tom just said that. And topic today is storytelling. And I've been watching the Daygame 3.0 of Tom on the road. There was so much time to listen to audio books, Tom podcast, the Daygame 3.0. It's been listening back and forth yesterday and today. So there's a topic about storytelling, and I guess after you've passed beginner, they call intermediate purgatory, where you keep stuck in intermediate because people couldn't know how to tell stories. Because after you stack, you open, she gave you a topic. I'm a lawyer, I'm a doctor from this country, I'm from this country. People don't know where to go next, so they just keep trying to change topic and or ask random questions, which is kind of cute vibe. Or they keep trying to stack more and more, which doesn't hook or move forward of the interaction. So the storytelling, according to the Daygame 3.0, after you stack and you got the topic, then the show started. You have storytelling. You can have a canned story for 3 to 5 minute canned story to tell if you're not experienced with that. But I kind of like the idea of free flowing and creative, which will make game more fun, because after 5-7 years of gaming, it's become kind of mundane and become kind of, I don't know, boring of going through the same process again, even if you get late. So the process needs to be interesting so you can stick with it longer. And another way of doing that, according to Tom, we do a random word generators to pick a topic and tell a story about a random word. Say maybe a couple minutes about a topic. So we train your brain to be more creative and more spontaneous, so you can think on the spot. If you went silence is good, because some guy like me, I talk too much, so sometimes we need to pause, keep the eye contact, give out the smirk, and it kind of helps with the sexual tension, maintain the tension, maintain the eye contact. But let's say for someone who needs to keep moving forward with interaction, she doesn't really hook, but she kind of socially hook, which is give you the topics to talk to you, but she's not sexually hooked yet. She didn't think that you have high value. So storytelling, that's the best DHV ever. Mystery also said that, I think. But the problem is when you tell a story, or maybe on a basic level, let's say not a storytelling, just talking about a topic from a random word. Most people stay on a topic that kind of people pleasing topic, kind of talking about like you talk about the weather, talk about the football game, talk about the soccer, talk about just like things that are not related to you or her. So the conversation, it's kind of going well, but it's like a friendly vibe. She doesn't know that you have a dick. It's just the conversation going nowhere. Oh, the hairdresser conversation, politics, religion, just random things. Talk about things, and you don't want to do that. For beginner, yes, you should kind of have something back and forth. Save that for when the dates get bored, but I'm going to try to avoid those. But you still need to train your brain with a word and a topic and say something, make a story. But what I think of today, which I think has been very valuable for me in the past that you guys could use, is when in the past I noticed when the topics about random stuff, usually she flake, or she just get bored and walk off. But if the topic was about you or her, or ideally you and her, then the conversation become more sexual. She know that you are flirting with her, more flirty conversation going somewhere. It's not a hairdresser conversation, which is a lot better. So I just invented it. Maybe somebody already did it, I don't know. But instead of just doing a traditional one-word generators and talking about the topic that you come up with that word, you can do both. So first, go on Google, find random word generator, generate a word, and then maybe 2 minutes talking about that topic, what will come up to your mind. And then don't stop there. Using that word and how it related to you, either a story or opinion or things you did in the past that relate to you, and talk about it for 2 to 3 minutes. And then switch to her, how that word can relate it to her, what assumption you make on her according to that word. And after that, you maybe few more minutes, then you do you and her, the we, they call it the we mentality, or the us mentality. It's a simple pickup used to call it. And you talk about the topic of you and her according to that word, either doing something together or have something that has to be you and her related to that word. So that would train your brain in a very responsive, on-the-spot, improv way that you can talk about random things, any topic, and you can relate it to you, her, or you and her. So that would help. I can try do a couple now. Haven't had anything prepared yet. I can go on to Google, generate words. I'm doing this live, no script, non-scripted, so might not be as good because this is my first time doing this. I haven't been practicing storytelling for a while. I've been working on my accents, my tonality, because I used to have a very thick accent and a monotone, and sometimes stuttering as well. So when I speak too fast, so getting a voice coach if you have that issues, I think it would help a lot. So I'm getting a voice coach soon. So my podcast, hopefully you're getting better. But let's start with a random word generator from a website. Cultural is the word. Cultural. Culture is very interesting thing because everyone have their own culture, and they make the mix become more interesting things because different culture mixed together. You can experience different culture and different food, different belief, different ethnicity, different look even, and cultural. I feel like people can change to be cultural. That even if you're from this country, but you can be more cultural from the other country if you live there long enough, or if you prefer that kind of culture. And you could also be multicultural, that like multilingual. You can be multicultural. This is not a racist thing. There's nothing wrong with like a white guy wearing some Chinese clothes. It's funny, there's a YouTube video of a white guy wearing a Chinese clothes, traditional Chinese clothes, and he asked other people, this offends you at like a random street? And most people say, yes, it's offensive. But then he wear the exact same outfit, went to Chinatown and asked people there, do you think it's offensive? Like all people are like, no, this is great, this is not offensive. They liked it. So that's very interesting about culture. It can be made very personal, very global, but also, you can experience different, make life more interesting. Yeah, so that's about the topic. Also, have to remember to speak slower, louder and clearer when you tell a story, especially if you have an accent. So about me, cultural. I'm not sure if I'm a very cultural guy. I like different type of culture, but I never felt like I'm really cultural, understand so much, I believe so much about one culture, even where I was from, because a lot of things I didn't like about that culture. But there's a lot of things I do like as well, but I never felt like I was super cultural and want to represent and want to tell people about my culture, show, oh, this is how you make this kind of food, this is how people do this, this is what people believe in there, this is what people do for fun there. I was like, yeah, I like to experience different things, but I never a representer. But culture could mean different things. You could be like, this is your belief, right? But I kind of prefer multicultural, a little bit of everything. It's like the best part of each culture and kind of avoid the bad part, right? And about her, oh, you look like you seem very cultural. Even though you look like you're from America, but you seem like you like Hispanic culture. I could imagine you making tacos and dancing salsa at night, doing stay within the Hispanic Mexican community in California, do all the music, or drink tequila, shot of tequila, right? Do you think you're cultural? What kind of culture do you prefer? So that's about her. And about you and her, I'm not sure we can be very cultural together, because I think we have a very different mentality. We are different culture, but you and I think we should. Have you ever been to Europe or south of France? I think the culture is very different from a lot of places. We should go there. I imagine we could get a van and you can be my driver. We can drive across the country, or we can take the train. We can hitchhike on the train and learn to be cultural. That's another cultural thing in Europe, that you hop on hitchhiking or hopping on train hopping and travel with your backpack. That could be a very cultural thing over there, and I think we should try it. Okay, so you see how it goes? You have a word about a topic, about you, about her, about you and her doing something together, or how that's all related to you guys, that you have doing a story of you two together, or like love each other, hate each other, love-hate relationship. You can use for disqualify, you can use that to qualify. So are you very cultural? You don't seem like you really, the way you dress, you're very like normal, but I could imagine you could be kind of cultural. Or are you? You know, that you can use qualify, disqualify, DHV, demonstrate value so much from just a story. It is hard, it's like improv. When you get used to it, it's kind of fun. Also, if you practice a lot, you train your mind on that, but you should be not a problem to do that often, right? Maybe we can try another word. I resume the stories. I just had to make a quick stop at Walmart as I'm on the road driving down to California. I just have to buy some ice for the cooler and take a piss. So the second word, random generator. Second route is decisive. So decisive. I think nowadays this is about topic. I think nowadays most people, it's not very decisive. People complain about Facebook making on their own data, exaggerate. But I think people want the machine to be designed. People want to be sold. People don't want. They're lazy to make up their own mind. It's a click web will come up and buy their own stuff. They're very not very decisive. We used to be design our own things, but now it's like most of the marketing and all the machine become they are the decisive one, not the human one anymore. So that's about the topic. About me, I'm a very decisive guy. When I decide to do something, I'm just gonna do it. I usually don't even tell people that I'm gonna do something. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna show the result, which is sometimes surprising and shocking to a lot of people, and my parents sometimes worry about me. But that's just how the way I do things, and I believe that's how life you should live. You decide something, you want something, you have to go for it. You can't think back. Just like what I'm doing right now, just driving down to California. And about her, you seem like a very decisive girl that when you decide to rob a bank, no one can talk you out of it, do they? So I think it's good because you know what you want, you go for it, but it could be very dangerous. That's just quite push-pull right there. I'm not sure if I trust you. And honestly, about you and her, the topic would be the classic. We might not get along because we're both very decisive. So when we both agree on two different things, no one gonna change their opinion. No one gonna step back for the other. So we might not get along. But yeah, and all it could be if we're both very decisive. I think if we have the same goal, nothing can stop us. You know, we can rob the bank, go to Mexico, and live like a rich person. You know, run away from the FBI. You know, I think that's gonna turn out well for us. So that is how you practice storytelling. That for Daygame and dating, that there's some push-pull, there's some tease in there. I try to throw it in. If not, so also the level that you can see is different. The first level is talking about random stuff. At least you have something to talk about instead of pissing your pants and just froze. So that the first level. The next one you can talk about you and her. You're confident enough to talk about yourself, and then talk about her. Things that relate to her, because people want to talk about themselves. They're interested about themselves. That's why most of the stacking you can see is about a girl. So, and the third level is about you and her, because you want to create an idea, stories, an image in her head that you guys are together, doing fun stuff together, adventures, spontaneous, those things. So, but you have to go through all of them just to train your brain how to respond on a certain word and just launch a story. There's more improv. Street improv with Tom is really good. There's other things with improv exercise you can look up on YouTube and practice as well. But I think this one I just thought about it, so I think this might be useful to try it out, see if it helps you guys or not. Also, I might make another podcast about when to stop storytelling, because stacking, I was thinking about a concept called restacking, because when you stack, it's kind of hook, you went to storytelling, it's kind of hook, but then it's kind of slowly dying away. Do you just eject, or do you escalate and it doesn't go anywhere? Or maybe you have to restack again and then tell another story. This will mostly be on a date, or maybe even the real set. You can restack and retell the story. When do you know to do it? When not to? When to leave? How do you read the sign? Maybe I'll make another podcast, go more over it. This one more about storytelling, what I've learned. Jordan Belfort has a good podcast about storytelling as well. Recording yourself, I hate listening back to myself, but this podcast make me have to. So listen to your voice, the way you tell stories is also very important. A lot of down talk, I can see myself do a lot of up talk in the end, like this, like Tom Ulysses said. It's very bad. Storytelling using the present tense instead of past tense. Slower, make it clearer. So people can sometimes play with your tonality. Sometimes can be very excited, very fast. Sometimes can be very slow. Let me tell you something. This is crazy. So people, when you lower your volume, people just pay more attention. Oh, this is something value, So learn that from Jordan Belfort. It's very good. Julian had the best voice. Julian RSD, he has the best vocal tonalities and storytelling that he do. If you can find his old video, very, very good. And then to look up general storytelling tips is very, very important, because most guys don't know what to do after stacking. They just stack, they try to flirt, they stack again, try to flirt again, and then they try to close. So that's why they flake so much, because you didn't demonstrate high value. You only show her that you have the boss come up to her and then tease her, but she didn't have the image of you as a high value guy or you guys doing stuff together. If she couldn't imagine you guys doing stuff together, why would she come out on a date? When she come home, when the emotion goes away, all the flooding goes away, they're like, who this guy? I can't see myself going out with him. Why would I text him back? So storytelling, very important. I'm missing that for a few years and the results kind of flaky here and there, but nail this down, add it to here before or after the qualification, maybe both. You will see a result change. We'll try that in California. There are a couple can routine that you can learn if you want, if you're too fucking lazy to do improv, but improv is fun and creative. I will try that in California. I will keep you guys update of anything come up, and keep grabbing life by the horn. I will see you guys soon. Cheers.